Hello everyone, I'm glad that you're here. It's time for another vlog sort of thing, and I always wonder what should I talk about. Quite often it's something in the news. Once a week, well once every 2 weeks do the roundup there, and then we intersperse it with these, which gives us all a chance to chat about various bits and bobs. There's some a news article that caught my attention recently. I'm always into outer space, although I haven't done a space related vlog video for quite some time. Now, there's the major question there, which is plagued humanity and philosophers since the dawn of time, is: are we alone in the universe? Is it just the human race, one creature in the whole galaxy amongst billions of galaxies, or is there other life elsewhere? As technology grows ever more advanced, we try and search for other planets and try and find out the answer to that question. So this vlog is called The Search for Life, The Magnificent Seven. No, it's not based about the Magnificent Seven, the country and western or Wild West film. Yes, you know what I mean, don't you? Right, I've written down some points, as I quite often do here, so I don't go off track, which I can't guarantee you that we won't. Now, recently, you might have caught this story, astronomers have detected a record 7 Earth-sized planets, wow, orbiting a single star. All of the 7 are thought to have Earth-like characteristics. Well, that's absolutely amazing. Now, every so often these stories come about where astronomers discover exoplanets, and that's planets outside our solar system, and they try and work out by some equations what the planet might be made of, what size it is, and so forth. So, you know, will they ever find life? I don't know, but this time we've got 7 of them. Of these 7 planets, 3 of them are in the Goldilocks zone around a star. Now, this star isn't as bright as our own sun, but it's in an area where, as it's called the Goldilocks zone, because they believe it's not too cold, not too hot, and can possibly support life, because on these planets, liquid water is thought to be possible. Now, so there's 3 out of the 7 possible harbouring life as we know it, but they're all similar Earth sizes, and potentially the planets outside of this Goldilocks zone could still potentially harness life if the temperature is good enough. So, for example, say the atmosphere is creating like a greenhouse effect, it would warm up the planet. Now, planets in our own habitable zone, the solar system, are Earth, of course. We've got Mars just outside it, which is a little cold, and Venus just on the inner bit of it, where they've got locked in some crazy greenhouse effect that's got out of control. So, although those 2 are sort of Earth size, or just smaller in Earth's case, only one of the 3 can potentially harbour life. Mars, the jury's out, but we don't think there's any life unless there's microbes there, but we'll soon find out. Now, this system is called a Trappist-1. I still can't believe it. 7 planets. And it's thought to be 40 light years away. Those people are unfamiliar with space talk. That means if you travelled at the speed of light, which is quite fast, it would take 40 years to get there. Apparently that's close in terms of galactic terms, but seems a long way away because we can't travel very fast at the moment. Einstein said you can't travel faster than the light. I'm sure at some point he'll be proved wrong. I think you can travel faster than the speed of light, you just can't see yourself getting there. I don't know what the stopping distance from the speed of light is, probably a couple of months, I don't know. It's hard to avoid stuff before you can actually see it, that's all I know. Now, what else here? Yes, now how are these planets were detected by NASA's Spitzer telescope. So we haven't actually seen these planets, what they actually look like. It's all due to maths. Because using that telescope and some ground-based telescopes as well, they focus on a star, and by sensing the dip in the magnitude of the star, that's when a planet is seen to be crossing its path. So they try and calculate the size of it by that. So as far as we know, there's 7 of them, or perhaps one that's the same size going around really fast 7 times. What do you think? No, they seem to think it's a 7. And this is the first time this has ever happened. I do remember a few years ago they said they spotted a super Earth, but there was never any feedback from that. So you have to take a lot of these things with a pinch of salt, I think. Now, I do feel a bit sorry for these planets because, say for example, they all harbour life in early stages. They was getting on quite well, this paradise of life, and now the human race has spotted them. Oh great, so that's they've probably got a few million years, haven't they, before we find it and trash the place. So the next phase really, to see if there's any biological life there, is detecting if there's oxygen or methane. That's sort of like the trace gases which is associated with life or biological life forms, if that just be moss or fauna or even bacteria as such. There's a new generation of telescopes that are currently being built, which will soon be underway, and they've got the potential apparently to detect these gases. Now, how they do this when you can just see a pin spot going across a star, I don't know. I'd imagine it's recording it in some sort of different spectrum, like the violet spectrum or other spectrums I've just made up, but not the ZX spectrum. And if it goes a certain colour, that represents oxygen or what have you. I hopefully I'm alive long enough for us to visit these places, but I'm starting to doubt it, because it's about 50 years, over 50 years since we was on the moon, and we still haven't got to Mars yet, although a lot of robots have. Robots beat us to Mars. Well done. Excellent. Excellent. Because of the size of these planets, from what we know from planet structure, we believe them to be rocky, to have a firm surface, because gas giants, going by our own solar system, or gas planets, tend to be a lot bigger. Maybe it's because gas expands, or maybe some description, but they've got a hard core, I'd imagine, iron or whatever it is, but they tend to be a lot bigger than the rocky worlds. And that's not Rocky the movie. So yeah, 7 planets. Would you go? I quite like the prospect of finding other stuff there. Right, so there's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it, which I've already sort of covered. Fantastic news. Soon to be forgotten, though, of some other discovery, because we can't go there. There's lots of other exoplanets, probably over 1,000 they've looked at. Some could be like Earth, some others not. But this solar system, Trappist-1, with the 7 planets there, that holds the most interest at the moment. Now, man is eventually going to, like he did the Earth, unless we suddenly evolve fantastically, man has got a habit of landing on stuff, plugging it for all its resources, like a virus, and leaving it as a mess. Who knows? We might have been on Venus at one point, ruined that atmosphere, couldn't get to Earth, so we sent a rocket ship to Earth with some of our DNA in. That crashed, killed the dinosaurs. Part of it hit Mars, ruined that, and then millions of years later, the man survived. How's that for a theory? Yeah, I don't know. What's that? Sorry, I just got attacked by an alien there. It's my last point. I dropped my notes. I'm glad I covered that well without anyone noticing. This is a very professional channel. And my last point, which I'm sure I didn't forget. My last point is, can this information be trusted? It's from astronomers and such. I don't know what their funding is, but if you're an astronomer and you haven't discovered anything for a while, you must worry that your funding is going to be cut. So to continue your work, because that's your livelihood as well as your interest, you think, oh, we better discover something. We've discovered a blip. Oh, could it be 7 blips? Oh yeah, it's 7 blips. Could it harbour life? Oh yeah, possibly it could harbour life. All right, put that out. More funding for us. So I'd like to believe this, and I think I do, looking at all the information there. But until we got some real hard evidence, they say like as ozone or methane coming from an oxygen, it's a bit hard to know. So I thought I'd share that with you, see what your thoughts on the matter. Is it true? Do you believe there's life there? Do you believe there's intelligent life there? And should they be worried that we have actually discovered them? Much the same as an advanced civilization discovers us, then I think we would be a bit worried there. But say, for example, we sent a ship there eventually and they were much more advanced than us and thought, oh, okay, we'll take the Earth. That's nice. Yes. Anyway, a nice one for you, a bit about space again. So thank you for watching the videos as always. Videos will be going up, well, they go up every day now. Somehow I managed to do it. I don't know how. So yep, comment below if you've got any thoughts about that subject or space in general or any exoplanet news. And until next time, take great care of yourself and have very fun. Goodbye.
Goodbye.